Hi everyone, and welcome to FAS-202. In case you didn't know, I'm your instructor, Sarah, and I just want to, each week what I'm going to try to do is to make a video introduction to each module, so that way I can tie together the different modules, go over major assignments, and really stress the important concepts for each week before you really get into your e-resource reading for the week. Last week, last week's reading really provided you with a great overview to the arts and provided you with some reasons as to why a humanities course is a part of your general education. This week, we're going to take what you learned about the arts and how to look at the arts, analyze the arts, take a piece apart, and we're going to dive right into the Baroque period. Most people translate Baroque to mean irregular, and most people agree that the Baroque period started around 1600 and ended somewhere close to 1750. And it really grew out of the Catholic Counter-Reformation, which you'll be reading about this week. And also, something you'll be talking about is a different style that started to emerge towards the end of the Baroque period called the Rococo style. Now, this style is still a part of the Baroque period, and it just started to emerge at the end and kind of bridge the gap into the classical period. This style, the Rococo style, is much more fun and flirty. It's no nonsense, and I think you'll really see this in the paintings and the architecture and the music from the Rococo style, and you'll see this difference between the Rococo style and the Baroque period, even though they're kind of under one umbrella. So I thought what we could also talk about is the discussion board this week. So up here I have my example discussion board. So each week I'm going to try to provide you with an example discussion board so that you can see what my expectations are for all of you when it comes to the discussion. Now I'm going to admit this one's a bit short, so I would expect a little bit more information from you when it comes to the piece that you chose. So you're going to choose one piece to focus on and really talk about how that piece fits into the style, what's going on in that piece, what's being depicted, what emotion, and really placing the piece that you've chosen into context. And you'll also want to provide the date when the piece was created, and you'll want to provide the artist, composer, creator of that piece. But it's really important that whatever piece you choose, so each week when you choose a piece, you want to try to place that piece into historical context and talk about what's going on during that time period, because what's going on is inevitably going to influence the art that's happening at that time. And so this is really going to be helpful for you because this is what you have to do for your final project. So if you consistently do it throughout in the discussion boards, it's going to be a piece of cake when you get to your final project. So the piece that I chose for this week's discussion board is La Sciacquapanga by Handel from his opera Rinaldo. And one thing that I tend to notice when it comes to the Baroque period, and I think it stands out when you get to other periods like the classical period or especially the romantic period, is that it seems that in one piece, whether it be a piece of music or a painting or something like that, one emotion's really expressed. And by the time we get to the romantic period, we just have a whole bunch of emotions erupting all over the place. But it's more contained in the Baroque period, and I think you'll really see this in the piece that I've chose. In La Sciacquapanga, the emotion that's being depicted here is just this deep sadness. The main character is so distraught that she's been taken away from her lover Rinaldo, and she doesn't know if she'll see him again. And I think you'll really feel that when it comes to this piece of music. So let me know what you think about that. That is one thing that I've noticed about the Baroque period, is that it's just a little bit more contained, which is different from other, emotionally, which is different from other periods. Another thing that you probably want to know is that, oh, and in my discussion board here, I've provided a translation, I've provided the composer, the opera it's from, and the date, and then I've also provided you a link to a recording of Lasha Kyopyanga. So make sure that if you're choosing a piece of art that you include an image of that piece of art. If you're doing a piece of music and there's text or words, try to include a translation of those words so we really know what's going on. It's important to be able to see the painting or hear the music or see the architecture while you're talking about it, and it'll help your classmates as well when they're responding to your post. There is another assignment this week, so other than your discussion board, which the initial post is due on Thursday, and your responses, both of them too, are due on Sunday night. You also have your Module 2 quiz, which is due on Sunday night. And one heads up that I did want to give you is that next week, in week 3, you will be choosing the 2 pieces you will be focusing on for your final project. And I would suggest starting to think about this now, and maybe starting to pass some pieces by me. If you have any issues thinking of 2 pieces to compare, let me know. I have a lot of suggestions from past courses that I've taught, past courses I've taught of this course. And also remember that the 2 pieces you choose have to be from different stylistic periods. So you can't have 2 Baroque pieces. You need to have a Baroque and a Romantic, or you need to have a Romantic and Contemporary. They have to be from different stylistic periods so we can see, compare and contrast the differences. And when you're doing that, it's a really good idea to have one consistent theme, whether this be love or war or the female form or something that's held consistent between the 2 paintings or pieces of art that you've chosen, so that you have something to spring off of to write your paper. And please just let me know if you have questions about this, but I just wanted to give you a heads up before you get to week 3 so you can start thinking about these potential pieces. Make sure you pick one that you find extremely interesting. I mean, hopefully you find both really interesting, but so that it's not it makes the paper easier to write if it's something that you're particularly interested in. But this is really all I've got for this week. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a great week. Bye!